Okay, hey guys, Richard here, coming to you from a hotel room in Cape Town where I'm trying to get a flight out. Um, Easier said than done. The flight costs are going up, the flight number of flights are going down. The government is urging us to get out because airlines are going to go under, flights are going to be cut. Um, yeah, Pete came here for a cricket tournament. And of course, like everything else, got cancelled. Supposed to be a 7-game cricket tournament. We got to game 2.5, and the tournament got cancelled halfway through the third game. So it really is incredible times. Aren't we lucky? Um, but the thing about times like now, as we've seen it all before, is that in incredible times like this, there are incredible opportunities. Not for everybody if you continue doing the same thing you've always done, but if you're adaptable and if you can anticipate trends and if you can adapt and pivot, then there are often some really good opportunities available. I know in some areas construction has stopped. Eric was saying this morning that construction in sort of the Bay Area has stopped. So it's kind of amazing. But make no mistake, I mean, we just had a mastermind call, and I was kind of expecting people to be panicking and all that type of stuff, and I was delighted that all the mastermind members were actually pretty calm, and they were coming up with the idea that we need to innovate. There is opportunity, and if we can sort of keep an open mind on that there's a possibility that some people can come out better than they went into this thing. So it's going to be really interesting. Who have we got here? We've got Alessio, Ari, Christina, Edward Shannon, Eric Mickerton, Francis Klein, JF, Luther Weber, Michael Dern, Pamela Ritu. For starters, okay. So yeah, look, my thoughts around this, and really, I'm going to give you a three-step formula, a three-step formula. It's more of a framework for thinking than it is any specific direction or action plan, because all of you are going to be in a different situation. But if you follow this three-step framework, it'll help you. It'll help you. So anyway, just type into the questions window. I'd like to know, anything interesting happened to you in the last 2 or 3 days. What's going on in your world? What have you noticed? What have you seen? So I'll give you a minute to type in there. Couple of thoughts as you guys are typing stuff in here. Couple of thoughts. It goes back to this concept that whenever there is change, there is opportunity. Whenever there is movement, there is opportunity. There might be some certain loss in some areas, but make no mistake, there are gains in other areas. And you've got to be able to be open to looking for opportunities, and you've got to be able to anticipate and take action. Warren Buffett, the last time in 2008, when the share market, I don't know how much it crashed, but let's say it crashed 25%. I mean, his reaction to it is the world's on sale, right? The world's on sale. There are bargains all over the place in times like this. So Ritu says New York is shut down due to coronavirus. New business will be tough. Yeah. Christina Fu, the people I know who usually seem to be the most in control of their lives are now the ones in bigger panic mode. All right. Michael Dern says, I live in Silicon Valley, so with a home office in place and kids at home, schools closed for a month, stay in place in effect. Umberto says, hello guys, I hope you're all keeping safe and healthy. Francis says, we are planning for a remodel of a dentist office. They usually would have a problem shutting down their work for construction, but now they have closed their offices for a week or weeks, so it might be easier to build out the space. Now there's an example of an opportunity, right? All these, there's possibly a lot of places who have been considering doing a renovation, and now they're shut down. It's the perfect time for them doing it. So, there's one example. Only new client meetings cancelled due to elder age of one of their residents. Okay. Ari says, my business has been going on. No traveling and a lot of work from home. However, all businesses around and schools are closed for a few weeks in my area. JF says, having been asked for proposals for 6 projects a week ago, I was surprised to have the issuers of the RFPs following up so quickly. That's good news. Okay, good. Alessio says, work has not yet slowed down. We have to wait and see what happens in a few weeks. Just carry on. Just carry on. Ari says, I have been looking into new business opportunities and using the upcoming available time to think about design options for such projects. Brilliant. Francis says, my clients are okay with emailing and drawing and meetings via FaceTime. That's the other opportunity is setting the expectation that we can meet online. I don't need to drive all the way from here to there to meet with you. It may be the new norm that you meet online like this, which wouldn't be a bad thing, right? Luther says, we are continuing doing work remotely. The advantage to work slowing down a bit is allowing more time to focus on marketing. Brilliant. It's not all bad. I mean, this thing, let's face it, this is not World War II. It's going to be strange, maybe for weeks, maybe for months, probably not for years. It's probably not going to be like this for years. It's probably a month, a sort of an X number of months thing. But it's not necessarily all bad. Christina says, I met with a potential new client last week. The husband is completely in panic mode, and while the wife is very calm over the situation. It will be interesting to see how this is going to proceed. Yeah, it will be interesting. Luther says, we still have power. Losing power could be worse. Yeah, I mean, it's not World War II, right?
So I'm going to share something that brought a smile to me and my family, which is your grandparents were called to war. You're being called to sit on the couch. You can do this. So.
Yeah, that's right. Closed our storefront. Closed our storefront studio less than 2 weeks ago in response to other economic indicators we were seeing. We're thrilled that we did so, and we are all in remote work mode. Okay, good. Good. This is amazing, isn't it? It's kind of amazing. It's an amazing thing to be involved in. I'll give you another bit of context as well. I mean, like I said, I'm on a cricket tour with a bunch of cricketers, but about 3 or 4 of them are from Christchurch, and they were involved in the Christchurch earthquake, and that's where basically I think 25% of the buildings in the CBD are now gone, at least 25%. 10,000 houses were damaged and had to be knocked over, and some of them fell out and killed people. They all know people who were injured or killed, or houses got. My mother's house got completely written off. We all know people who lost houses, and for them, I mean, having to stay at home and clean your hands. I know there's some people who might be suffering, but it's not the same as having an earthquake completely smash your city. Not for most of us anyway. Eric Mickerton, we're sheltered in place for 3 weeks in the Bay Area. Time to get my next newsletter out. There you go. And make sure people think of me when they return to work. Main article might be how to understand costs and reduce stress in your project. Luther Weber says US government is working on $1 trillion. Yeah, here's the other thing. Little New Zealand's put up a $12 billion stimulus package. US government's working on $1 trillion salvage stimulus package. The government is going to be pouring money out, right? And people are going to be sitting at home with nothing to do. Oh, that's my wife who's sitting at home with nothing to do. Let me just message her. I can't. People are going to be at home. Now, this is the thing. I watched a webinar today about a guy who's a bit of a thought leader, and he was saying, look, we know what's going to happen. These are facts. People are going to be sent home. They're going to be at home. Some of them may panic for a certain period of time, but we know what happens. When you panic, after a while, it's exhausting, and you just get over it and you stop. At that point, and only a small number of people are panicking, most of you guys aren't panicking. Our mastermind members this morning, none of them were panicking. I mean, they had met some people who were panicking, but most people are kind of carrying on. I'm stuck in South Africa and can't get home. I'm not panicking. I'll just have to work it out. But what was it? Can't remember what I was going to say. But anyway, I don't know. Can't remember. It was good though. Someone told me. $1 trillion salvage package. They are going to be, there's money going to be spent big time. So, what I was thinking was, people have been sent home, right? They've been sent home, and after the panic's over, and they're just hiding at home with the kids and the wife and the husband and grandparents, or however they're going to do it. The first thing you're going to do is get bored. Then they're going to get on the internet. Then they're going to start reading stuff. The amount of consumption of stuff through emails and social media is going to be unlike anything before. Now, a lot of people are looking at this and going, oh, right, let's just turn everything off for now, right? The consumption from bored people sitting at home is going to be bigger than ever before. If there's any time for you to get out there and start producing content which is genuinely helpful, now is the time. The eyeballs, there are going to be more eyeballs and more people with more time to consume information than ever before, right? They're going to have time for planning. They're going to have time for webinars or web meetings, or doing Zoom meetings with people to organize things. Like, not everybody's got no money, right? The government's going to be spending $1 trillion in the US, maybe. In New Zealand, they're spending 12 billion. That's huge, right? That's 4% of our GDP. There's a truckload of money being spent. They're trying to stimulate the economy. So Luther says, I believe there will be pent-up demand for construction once the curve flattens. Well, of course, it'll go quiet for a few weeks, but then people are going to have to do something because they're going to get bored. So why shouldn't they start designing? And if businesses, as someone said before, now's a great time to do a renovation on a business, right? If you're a dentist or a doctor or something like that, and you thought you didn't have time before, now they've got time. There was time, if you can do construction in your area. Some areas you can't. So I've got a little 3-step formula for you. All right. Let me show my screen. Turn my camera off. All right. So step number 1, you guys can see my screen. Step number 1, make yourself strong. So, be careful, but don't buy into the panic, right? You got to put yourself in a peak state of mind. You're going to have to hustle. Some of you will have to pivot. Some of you won't. Some of you will just be business as usual, right? Some of you are going to have to pivot, meaning you're going to have to make some changes. Maybe you're going to have to change who you target as clients. Maybe you're going to have to change what you say. Maybe what you're going to have to change some area of focus. Maybe your focus changes from who you target, how you target them, and what you say. Step number 2, focus on the opportunities, right? So once you've made yourself strong, focus, where is the money? Because the money does not disappear. The money doesn't go away. It just moves in different directions in a time like this. It hasn't gone away. You will hear a million stories about how businesses have gone under, right? You will hear that because money has moved away, possibly in many cases, from the traditional areas that you're used to. That doesn't mean it's gone away. It just means it's moved, right? So everybody will be very slow to react. If you are focused on the opportunities, if you're following the money, if you follow the money will still be flowing, right? It'll just be flowing in a different direction. So like a river going down, it's flowing one way. That river may be moving differently. It may be taking a different path over the terrain. No problem. But move yourself into the different path. And so focus on the opportunities. And step 3, take intelligent action. That's it, right? Now, we had, if I've still got it, we did a brainstorming session with the mastermind group this morning. And actually, I probably shut it down. I don't know where it is. But anyway, so we said, what are some of the opportunities? So I want to brainstorm with you guys, but what are some of the opportunities that are likely to be happening? So one of them, I see Christina Fu said, construction costs went down from the 2008 recession, and it has skyrocketed in the last couple of years due to the good economy. Maybe this will bring construction costs down a little, so more people will be able to build. Okay, there is one opportunity. So focus on the opportunities, right? Maybe go down, right? So that may be a reason. Now they will go up again, right? We could say construction go down. They will. It's a hell of an argument, right? So that's a possible opportunity. What other opportunities are there? What other opportunities are there? Someone said mobile test, clinical test units. That's an opportunity. Have a look. What do you guys think? Interest costs are down. Yeah, okay. Interest rates down. Yeah. Don't forget, a lot of people, just because this is happening doesn't mean people don't have any money. Some people still have money. This doesn't affect them overly. In fact, some people I know. You'll hear about the bad stories because bad stories sell newspapers. You won't hear about the people making money from anticipating and focusing on the opportunities and taking intelligent action. You won't hear about that. You'll hear about the money changing its direction and moving, and you'll hear about the people who are no longer getting it and going out of business. You won't hear about the new people who have jumped in front of the money as it's changed direction. You won't hear about that. They're good stories. It's good time to make plans with an architect so you'll be ready when construction begins again. Right. So you have time to plan. Tip number 2, take time to design. Taking time to design with CLT, cross-laminated timber, and other delivery methods with structures as clients still want to get their products to market. I'm not sure I understand that. Take time to design with CLT, cross-laminated timber, and other delivery methods with structures as clients still want to get their product to market. I don't know what that means, Michael. Maybe everyone else in the room does. Ritu says, yeah, well done, Ritu. Investors buy new low-price properties. They want pre-purchase consultation. Yeah, right. Okay. The world's, as Buffett said, right? The world's on sale. Yeah, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? So instead of focusing on, you could focus on, well, she says they want pre-purchase consultation. Look, if I had money, I'd be waiting for this thing the markets to tank, and then I'd be buying property. If I can buy a 10% discount or 15 or 20% discount, holy smoke, it's money for nothing. We know it all goes back up, right? It all goes back up. I'll just tell my wife who on webinar till midnight. Right. These are good guys. This shows that this shows that you're thinking. Online classes for renovations for home owners. Perfect. These are brilliant, guys. Right? If we just train ourselves to think like this. Michael Dern says delivery process during construction can be compressed. Is that a good thing, is it? Delivery process can be compressed, so faster delivery times because no one's doing any building, right? Right, so is that what you're saying? Luther says small crews on residential projects are actually still working because they are outside and not standing next to each other. Okay. Yes, says Michael Dern. You know, this is good. Any more? I mean, you kind of, I don't know, make yourself strong. What that's about is getting your emotions where in a state where you can actually do stuff. You know, put yourself in a peak state. This is what we teach professional athletes: is to get excited. Get excited. It's a funny thing to say. Get excited on a major thing, but get excited maybe not by the disease, but by the opportunities that are coming up. The opportunities to profit. Remember, the money isn't going away. If the US government pours $1 trillion into the economy, the money's not going away. The money is just changing direction. It's just moving in a different area over the landscape. So you've got to move to a new, maybe you have to move to a new new location to stand in front of that water that's flowing. The water will still be flowing. It just won't be flowing maybe in exactly the same way it was flowing before. No problem, right? We're adaptable. All right. Luther, also allowing for extra time to prepare AIA awards submissions. Yes. All right. Yes. How good is that? I mean, let's face it. It's been pretty good time the last 2 or 3 years, right? So hopefully you've got a little. But rather than say you've got a little war chest and and you can run that down. Like I say, I think there are opportunities out there. You got to follow the money. right? Take intelligent action. I'm just going to put that down, right? Notice where the money is flowing. Notice where the money is flowing and follow it. All right. So, are there any other, let's keep pushing on this. What are some other opportunities that I haven't got here? I mean, just because everyone's staying inside and they aren't going out, does that mean they're suddenly poor? Like, people still have money, but they have time, right? People are at home on the internet with time, and many of them are bored. Is that a bad thing for you? Are you still there, Eric? Still look, staff members, Eric Bobro.
Yeah, I am.
What thoughts have you had? I've run out of comments here from people.
Well, I think if we just generalize from some of the things that we had discussed with the mastermind, just being thought leaders, being in touch regularly. How can you provide ideas, expertise, and even to some extent comfort by being in touch? I think that having more sane voices and ones that are used to dealing with challenges, as all architects are, can be helpful. And just in general, it's the time that you can prepare. Things are going to change. The world may be different 3 months or 6 months from now than it ever was, but it will go on. This is not the end of the world. So how can you approach things just to say during this period of time, what are the things that maybe have been put off? What are the things in terms of your marketing that you've always meant to do? So that doesn't necessarily bring in cash right now, but puts you in a position where when things start to return, you're in a stronger position than you were before. So those are just a few things that overlap what we've already been talking about.
Yep. Yeah. Christina Fu says, I need to use this as a golden opportunity to finally catch up with the marketing and studying to finish up some exams. Perfect. Perfect. And that's the thing, guys. I mean, calling it a golden opportunity, it is really. It is if you use it. It can become a golden opportunity. Become whatever it's going to be a real reflection of your mindset, right? Whatever you get out of this time period now will be a real reflection of, your mindset. And by the sound of it, most people on this call are pretty, I wouldn't say you're upbeat, but I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed by the level of thinking that's going on here. Same for us, like our business as well. I mean, we know that as soon as there's a recession or something like that the first thing that gets hit is architects. I mean, providing support to architects in recession is a crazy thing to do. But maybe there's opportunities there for us. We have to sit down and do exactly the same thing. I've been saying for about 18 months, something will come. The next recession is coming, and we need to plan for it. We need to, kind of hard to plan for it, but you plan for a recession, I suppose, but knowing exactly what is going to trigger it. I thought it might have been the China-US crisis. It was always coming. It was always coming because everything had been too good for too long, and economies just work that way. They don't keep going up forever. Sooner or later, something triggers it, and they go the other way. And like even if it wasn't the coronavirus, it would have been something else. The economy had to redirect itself. But that's cool. It was overheated massively. But look, if the US government's going to pour $1 trillion into the economy, you're going to see that money flowing around, that extra money flowing around. All right. Question. I feel it may be awkward reaching out to old leads. Any pointers on this? Yeah, good question. Reaching out to old leads. Well, it depends. I mean, if you're trying to pitch them something, if the message that happens is you go out to them trying to sell them design services, that might be a little bit queasy. But actually, if you just stay in touch with people and provide some sort of value, some sort of commentary, some sort of thought leadership, you may find that now is a better time than it was before when they were really busy. I mean, don't forget, a lot of people are going to be sitting at home. A lot of people who were planning on doing something in the past, who had the money to do it, but maybe they didn't have the time, now have the time. And maybe not this week, but give them a week or 2 or 3 weeks when they're starting to get bored and they need something to do because they're sitting at home looking after kids and they kind of had enough of it. They need a project to sink their teeth into. That may be the time to do it. Plenty of time to get my taxes done early. Edward Shannon says, please talk about incentives, i.e. discounts. You know what? I think there's a lot of incentives, and you guys have listed things down here without you discounting. You can talk about the fact that a project may be discounted, right? Not necessarily the design fee. So interest rates are down, right? Discount. You've got time. There's a discount on your time because your time is not quite so valuable as it was before. Maybe faster delivery times equates to a discount. Construction costs down, discount, right? There's all these factors here. If in fact these things play out that way, we don't have to have a discount on. You can, this is a chance for you to negotiate discounts with all the suppliers. This is not a chance for you to negotiate discounts on your own fee, though. So that's my thoughts on that one, Edward Shannon. What are your thoughts? Christopher says, set up video conferencing with markup tools for those concerned about face-to-face meetings. Exactly, that's happening already. Christina Furl, I thought of promoting COVID-19 special, but not sure yet what to include. You know what? I wouldn't. People are sick of seeing COVID-19 already, right? Talk about why it's a great time to do something, but COVID-19. I mean, every time we've all got 20 emails today from some random company who we've had some association with talking about how they are cleaning their computers and they are making sure their staff are following robust protocols. It's like, man, I'm not going to get coronavirus from your staff who I don't even see. It's like, don't send me an email about that. I don't care. I'm in South Africa, stuck. I can't even get home. Right? So yeah, I mean, talk about what the benefits. I think people are going to get sick of this COVID-19 very quickly. I'm sick of it already. Umberto says healthier time specials instead. Yeah, but the specials are on everybody else's stuff, not your design fees, right? That would be my big thought. Maybe your design fees need to go up. One of the things we talked about in the mastermind group is forming almost a healthy by design club that has certain standards and has a manifesto and has certain articles and you could be like certified in this type of thing. We can post articles from it. But so that's kind of a possible opportunity there. All right, what other thoughts, guys? Make yourself strong, focus on the opportunities, take intelligent action, which basically means follow the money, right? Follow the money or follow the opportunity. Umberto says the best design for truly safe and healthy spaces. Yep. Exactly. Oh no, I did a post yesterday, and this is an example of someone focusing on the opportunities, and it's kind of a funny one. This guy here, so he is a workout. He does workouts. He's a personal trainer. Hosts rooftop workouts in quarantine Spain for people. It's kind of funny. All right, so this is in Spain where they're all in lockdown, big time. We've got one of our mastermind members, Johannes Wortmann, says that he goes out, he puts on his clothes, puts on his mask. When he comes home, he takes all his clothes off, puts them in the washing machine, wipes down anything that he touches when he gets home, and goes and has a shower. Yeah, that's where it's got to in Spain. And this guy's doing workouts on top of rooftops. Personal trainer. I don't think he's getting paid, but it's an example of seeing the opportunity, putting yourself in a good state of mind, and making yourself strong, not getting too wound up, focusing on the opportunities, and then taking intelligent action. Not sure how much money he's making, but that's what we need to be. You need to be the personal trainer on the roof, right? Not the personal trainer hiding away somewhere. All right. Has anyone got any other questions or thoughts or comments that you would like to discuss? This, obviously this thing is going to play itself out over time. We don't know exactly where it's going, but we do know that if you stay positive, you focus on the opportunities and you take intelligent action, then you're going to end up doing pretty well, right? I'll just repeat, I've repeated myself 3 times, but the money doesn't stop flowing. It just flows in different directions. It has a different behavior to it. So where it used to flow over the landscape, it may not flow in that same direction, that same way. It'll be flowing in a different direction, in a different way. Your job is to move from where there is, if you're in a position where there's no flow, is to move yourself to a position where there is flow and stand in front of that, right? Produce value for an area that's got got money flow over it, right? And then it's no different. You're going to have to move to an area, you have to pivot, and you're going to have to find a way to add value to that area and communicate that value. So the industry has been talking a lot about resiliency in the last few years. Now it's time to bring that home to our clients and upgrading their homes, getting off the grid, and planning for the future, including accessibility for aging in place. This is a great message for our Dirty 30. Time to produce some videos for my homepage, says Luther. Ritu says, I need to send out my Dirty 30 for April soon. What would be a good thing to send out this time? What would be a good thing? Tell you what would be good. Talk about a whole lot of things that have happened in the past and how life just went on again. You know, the 2008 life share market crashed, share market went back up. Well, you could even just follow the share market during major disasters. It just showed people how, yes, it dips, but then it bounces back, and really the share market is a reflection of society. That'd be a cool thing because it's bounced back every single time, which means communities and money has bounced back every single time. That would be a cool thing. Elizabeth says, hello, Richard. This is a time on reflection for all, what we are doing and how we are doing things. Correct. We have taken things for granted. This is a time to be grateful. Very nicely said, Elizabeth. Richard says, funny. I just did that on Facebook. 4 tragedies in my life in the past 20 years in New York. Wow. Okay, and I bet you bounced back from every single one of them. Umberto says, all 3 market indexes are up in the US on average of 5.5%. Really? Okay. Ritu, 4 things. 9/11, 2008 collapse, Hurricane Sandy, and now coronavirus. Yeah, what would be good would be to point out what happened to you in all those situations and how maybe all of them you thought this is going to change my life forever. And maybe it didn't change your life forever. Yeah, there might have been some things that changed, but life, you just got back to life in the end. And you know, humans are resilient. Humans are resilient. All right. Hey, so guys, thanks very much for this because I was a little bit worried that everybody was going to be panicking and all that sort of thing. I mean, like we do know that some of your marketplaces will change. Some of them won't, but some of them will, and it can be scary. But don't panic, or don't panic for long. You know, if you're going to panic, go and panic and get over it, and then get a clear head and get back to work and work out how you're going to pivot, how you're going to adapt. Umberto says maybe deep down we hope that life will change forever so that we can have an excuse not to do the hard work. Interesting. It might be worth just doing a slide here. How can we pivot? And you give us some ways to pivot, right? Change target market. Or maybe you don't change the market, maybe you just change the message or the focus to your market. Well, I mean, I think focus on the opportunity that this change has opened for them. That would be a great message. Focus on how the opportunity, this opportunity. I'm not even going to say that C word. Focus on how this opportunity has opened. yeah, there's new opportunities for you because there's new opportunities for them. So there are some ways that you can pivot. You can pivot on any of those things. All right. I'm going to call it a night. It's deep. It's late. It's gone to 11. I've got to try and find a flight back into New Zealand before they all get shut down. I've got to pivot. So I'm going to do that now. So thanks for joining me, guys. Stay in touch. Excuse me. We're going to continue to. I'm going to do more psychological stuff around helping people with their thinking. So stay tuned on that. Join the members website. The Facebook site, the Architect Marketing Institute private Facebook site. There'll be stuff that posted there really soon. But we want to help you. Want to keep you guys going. Want to give you the emotional support as well as the strategies. Want you to be successful, and just provide a community for you to get support, get ideas, and carry on and be better than you were before. Are we having our 6th webinar? Yes, in 15 minutes. Thank you for your guidance, says Christina. You're welcome. Thanks, Elizabeth. Have a safe trip home. Yeah, well, if I can find a plane that will take me, I will. All right, thanks, guys. For those of you on the 6th training, I'll see you in about 15 minutes.